If you're in diaspora, or you're planning to relocate in diaspora, or you're simply just curious to know the challenges African couples face when living in diaspora, then this video will really open your eyes. Watch till the end of this video, then you can share your thoughts on the comments. When we leave Africa in search of greener pasture, we take with us our dreams, our cultures, and sometimes even our marriages. But somewhere along the way, in the cold streets of London, Toronto, and New York, those marriages begins to break, and in large numbers. So today, I want to take you inside the real, untold stories of why African diaspora's marriage are breaking and in large numbers. Since living in abroad, I have identified different reasons why Africans' marriages break whilst in abroad. But today, I'm going to share with you the most 4 common reasons why African marriages crashed whilst living in abroad. So the first one is the promise versus reality. What does that really mean? When couples first arrive in abroad, there is this excitement because they are in a new city, there are new developments, they are in the land of new opportunities, and there is a hope for a better life. But soon, reality sets in, because in order for you to get that better life, you have to work in order for you to earn money so that you can live a better life. And that is when the struggle comes in. And that is when couples started looking at job opportunities. One will work on long day shifts, and then another one will work on night shifts. And then bills upon bills started building up. And if there is a child there, childcare responsibilities started building up. And now this couple, the communication started getting lesser and lesser. They stopped thinking about themselves. They stopped thinking about us. Now it's more about survival. And sometimes this couple barely see each other, especially if one is working long day and then one is working night shifts. By the time the couple who works on long day shifts finish their job, come home, the one who is working on night shift is getting ready to leave the home to go and work their night shift. And sometimes the conversation will just based on texting or messaging via telephone. Honey, have you paid the rent? Oh, honey, have you picked up the kids? Oh, honey, whose turn is it today to look after the children? Oh, honey, please don't forget to pay the electricity bill. And now the love started turning into routines. And these routines will now turn into distance. And this is how marriages started gradually breaking down. The second reasons why African marriages break in abroad is cultural shift and role changes. In Africa, many marriages follows the traditional gender role. That is, they see the man as the provider. Likewise, the woman is seen as the home managers. That means they look after the home. The woman will look after the home. They will look after the well-being of the family, looking after the children. But in diaspora, this is different. Things changes whilst you are in abroad. Because why? The man has to go to work. Likewise, the woman as well needs to go to work. And sometimes the woman will earn more than the husband do. In some cultures, some men see this as a blessing, because if the woman earns more than them, they see it as a blessing. One, they will reduce the responsibilities of the bills at home. But in other cultures, this is a different situation where men sees that the woman is earning more than them. This is where the ego now started building up. And some women doesn't help as well, because some women, if they realize that they are earning more than their husband do, they wanted to shift the table upside down. They want to wear the trousers in the home, thinking that, oh, I'm earning more than you. So if the man say A, they will say B. They will start challenging that husband. They will start questioning the husband. They will start now controlling the movement of that husband. And men loves to be respected. What men love is peace and respect. Where there is no peace and respect, that man will stay away from you. They will find somewhere where there is peace. Like I said, what men love is peace and respect. If they can't find it there, they will leave you and go and find where there is peace and respect. And then gradually this will spark silent battles over respect, control, and then pride. And now the balance of power has now shifted. And if one couple is not prepared enough, this is where cracks begins to show. And this is where the breakdown of that marriage started building up. So the third reason why African couples marriages break in abroad is the influence of a new environment. You know, back home, we have a very tight community, especially where we have aunties, we have uncles, we also have elders who will be watching your relationship, who will be watching your marriage. They will be observing to see if there's any cracks on that marriage. They will chip in to come and see what is really happening in this relationship. They will start advising to try and see how they can bring that marriage back together. But in abroad, that is not the case. If your marriage breaks down, it will break down completely because there is no one to come and solve that marriage. Because here, we live a very private life. We live a very independent life. It's not every couples that share their relationship matters or issues to outsiders there. When your marriage is break. There is no one who will come in between to resolve that marriage because we live in a private world. So when you have issues with your marriage, only you can resolve that issues. Likewise, if you take your personal relationship matters or issues to outsiders there or to your friends, telling them what is really happening in your marriage, you will get some friends, don't get me wrong, you will meet some friends who are very bad influencer. Some will ask you, why are you staying in that marriage? Why, when this is happening, you're still staying there? Why don't you divorce your marriage? So they will now start poisoning your mind against your marriage. They will start giving you negative advice. Oh, if it's me, I'm not going to take that. I would divorce him or I would divorce her because this is too much. I can't accept that. And now they started giving you that negative advice, that negative feeling. And then this started poisoning your mind now. You started doubting yourself. You started doubting the marriage that you were in. That, oh, is it true that am I accepting too much in this relationship? Then you started looking at a negative way now. What is in your mind now is how to end that relationship, how to end that marriage. And this is where cracks begins to show in that marriage, leading to a breakdown. So the fourth reasons why African couples marriages break in abroad is financial stress and family back home. Sometimes supporting your family back home whilst having bills to pay in abroad can be very, very overwhelming because disagreement over money begins like a daily argument routines between couples. Because one couple will say, oh, I need to send money to my mom, or I need to send money to my dad, or I need to send money to my relative this month. And then the other couple will now say, but honey, remember, we haven't paid for the mortgage yet, or we haven't paid for our rent yet, or we haven't paid for this bill yet. We still need to pay for this. We still need to pay for that. So we need that money to pay for these bills. And now the love is buried over financial tension. And this is where arguments started building up over financial issues. One will say, oh, you're not allowing me to send money to my family back home. And then the other one say, oh, but we still have bills to pay. So arguments started building up. And this is where resentment started building up. And then silence will come in. And from that silence now, it will lead to emotional disconnected. These two couples now will start disconnecting themselves. Everybody will go their own path. The other one will go their own path. Sometimes even when they work together, they won't share bills together anymore. This is where separation come now. This is where they will say 50-50. This is where they started sharing the bills. Everybody take their own responsibilities. And then they started drifting apart. And then just one day, one person would just come in and say, I've had enough. I need to leave this marriage because it's not working anymore, because I don't see the progress of this marriage. You're doing your own thing, I'm doing my own thing, so there is no point in us staying in this marriage. So when you see marriages break down, it doesn't just take one day to break. It's something that has been building up gradually, gradually, gradually. If nothing is done to bring that marriage back together again, this is where the marriage will break down. And just like that, a marriage that was built in love back home in Africa now ended up in either court or divorce whilst living in abroad. But it doesn't have to be that way. Marriages in abroad can also survive if the couples adapt to the cultural shift they find themselves in whilst living in abroad. Remember, you're no longer in Africa, you're here in abroad. So follow the cultural shift that you find yourself here in abroad. That is, if you really want to protect your love, you want to protect your marriage. So what do you think is the biggest reasons why African marriages breaks in abroad? Is it to do with cultural differences? Share your thoughts on the comment section below. Maybe your story might help someone save their marriage. And remember, it's not just about surviving in abroad, but it is also about keeping your love, your relationship, and your marriage alive. So share this message to someone who really needs to hear this so that it will help them to save their marriage. I will see you on the next video. Take care now. I love you all. Bye.